G'day all, it's Colin from PC TLC and thanks for joining me. In this video I'm going to have a look at MX21. Not doing an install or anything like that, I'm just going to be setting up on one of my desktop computers. No real plans, just comparing to the things that I've been doing recently with bash scripts bash scripts for Flatpak and things like that. Installing up-to-date software on Debian or EzeeLinux, or just having the core applications like I spoke about. So I want to see how we go on MX21 for that. I did choose to install the Plasma edition, so we're going to be checking that out. I just set up a couple of things. I'll run you through that. It's not a complete review or anything like that. It's just a totally unplanned video, really, to be honest. Didn't think I'd need to focus on the installer because I did that when MX21 first came out. At least I'm pretty sure I did. I probably should check that, but I'm sure I did. So what I'm going to do is just take you into the desktop of MX21. It's on real hardware. I'm not going to completely set it up. I'm just going to go through the things of what I would do if I was setting up and maybe just run through what the options are. I'm not going to do too many installs. It's just like a comparison video of what I've been doing of late anyway, and how easy or hard it is to install the things that I possibly need on EzeeLinux, as opposed to what it's been on Peppermint, ArchLinux and all these sorts of things. Just having a look at that, and we'll check out EzeeLinux and see how it goes in that area. So let's get into the desktop of MX21 Linux. So here we are in the Plasma desktop of EzeeLinux 21. Most of the time I try out the XFCE version. I thought I'd try Plasma, see how we go. Plasma's not something I'm sort of used to using, to be honest. But let's have a look. I've adjusted a couple of menus. I've put in this Win11 menu. Let's have a look at that. If you go to Add Widgets and get new widgets and download new widgets, just did a search for menu and they'll come up with a whole heap of menus. This one here, menu 11, just thought I'd check that one out. Looked pretty good. And if you hit the super key, you've got access to all your apps straight off the bat, so that's pretty handy. Haven't used the Windows 11 menu because I haven't tried Windows 11 menu. So it's not a bad menu. The other thing I've done is I've swapped out the clock for this one here, which is the what's the name of this? The event calendar clock, which was another widget that I installed. Has it got an about? There we go. About event calendar. And you can hook your Google Calendar up to that. I believe version 71 onwards. This is version 75. From version 70 below, Google Calendar apparently doesn't work. So I've got those things active and running. We've also got KRunner. It's just messing around with KRunner. Let's have a look at KRunner actually. KRunner. Well, I could have searched for KRunner straight off the desktop, couldn't I? Could I have done that? KRunner. And there we go. So let's do that. Did it open anything? Probably not. So let's do that again. KRunner applications. Now KRunner has a lot of plugins here, and I've been using the web search. So if we check this out, I was just trying to figure out how this thing works. So if you hover over this, it will tell you right down the bottom there, the example. So if you want to search with Google, you can do GG semicolon and then your search criteria. You can also use DuckDuckGo, which is DD semicolon. So let's just try that. So let's hit Super D for the desktop. Let's just try GG semicolon DistroWatch, which I've done already. DistroWatch, and there's our Google search. We can also do a DuckDuckGo search, so we can do DD semicolon, and let's do PLE computers. It's the place where I have an account with. Let's try that. Search for that through DuckDuckGo, and there we have DuckDuckGo and PLE computers, which is this one here. So those searches are very handy in Plasma. You don't have to. It's a bit similar to using GNOME, I suppose. Now they've got a new GNOME activities overview in Plasma, but this Plasma here, if we look at Info Center, is 5.2. The new KDE activities overview is 5.24. So a little bit behind there, being based on Debian. That's fine. So what do we have? We have mostly the best thing to look at would be the MX tools. Now I didn't do an install of MX Linux. I did one for MX Linux 21 a little while ago anyway. This is our Linux Saloon exploration. So I just thought I would do a video on just checking out the system and things like that. Maybe just setting up my system, to be honest. And just having a look at the MX tools, you can just see how mature this is, especially being based on Debian. You've got your NVIDIA driver installer and codecs installer, which are two very handy things to have for new users off the bat. This one here is this system here is AMD, so I think that would do the first. Oh no, it doesn't. So we've got AMD Verde. I think that's how you pronounce that. So I don't need to install any drivers. You've got disk management here, which is disk manager, about disk manager. So that's an MX Linux disk manager. Okay. Not sure what you can do with that. Information, edit. If we go to edit, let's just go no on that. So that's some sort of disk manager that comes along with MX Linux. You've got your snapshot, your live USB maker, all that good stuff, tweak. But we're going to go to package installer, and let's check out package installer. The only thing I've done in here so far is the screencast, which was simple screen recorder, which is what I'm using here. Now, a couple of interesting things I found in here. If we go to let's see. If we go to Office, one thing I noticed in here is we've got the LibreOffice, then you've got the LibreOffice backports version. So that's interesting. I don't remember seeing that there when I did the MX21 video. I thought you had to click on Debian backports, but now they're actually putting some handy links to backports straight under here, which is pretty cool. Let's just have a look at the, let's go to Calc. Let's try Calc, check that out. LibreOffice Calc, help and about 7.0.4.2. I think we're up to 7.3 or something, I think. So that's what this one will be. So that's very interesting, but just look at the options you have here is just incredible. Out of the box. A lot of audio options here. Looks like we have Clementine installed. I don't remember seeing that. Oh yeah, Clementine, yep. And we also have VLC installed as well. But plenty of options there. Asunder, because I do have a DVD on this computer. Browsers, you've got Brave, Chromium, Falcon, Firefox, Firefox ESR, Google Chrome, Opera, Pale Moon, Vivaldi and Waterfox. So plenty of options under browser for sure. Now I won't go through them all, but I'll just check out the things that caught my eye. Under messaging, we've got plenty there as well. Messaging, Discord, Microsoft Teams, Pigeon, Signal desktop client, Skype, Telegram and Zoom. So you've got them all straight off the bat to be ticked off. I'd have to think that these are older apps coming from the Debian stable repos, I would have to think. And not only that, we also have under server, It's not server. No, not server. Media center. You have Kodi and you've got Plex. Now I made a script for Plex and to install the media server. Don't have to worry about that here. I've got Plex straight off the bat, and if I want Flatpaks, I've also got Flatpaks available. I've got updated applications from Debian backports, and then you got the stable repo if you just want the stable stuff. So there's plenty to do here. There is plenty of resources on EzeeLinux. And this Plasma, I don't know what it is about EzeeLinux, but Plasma is just like smooth as butter on EzeeLinux. It's such a pleasure to use. It just feels like a really good experience. So the things that interest me right off the bat here is the LibreOffice backports. I'm going to install that there like so. See what happens. I'd have to think they're going to switch on the backports, install it, and switch it back off again. Now I'd have to think they're going to uninstall the existing, so there's all the backports there. So I'd have to think they're going to uninstall the existing Office that's installed and install the backport. So we'll 7.0 I think it was. And do you want to continue? Enter for yes, because that's the capital, so that's the default selection. So there we go, it's installing 7.3.0.1 and processing finished successfully, and there we go. Now let's check out Calc once again on here, LibreOffice Calc, help and about 7.3.0.3. So I don't know what sort of magic they're doing in the background there, but that's very handy to have LibreOffice from the backports offered within the MX package installer. That's just awesome. I don't really have a need for the latest LibreOffice. It's nice to have. And the options that you have, if you are using the 7.0 version and you need something that's available in the 7.3, EzeeLinux has got it there for you at the click of a mouse. So the other things I could install here is Telegram and Zoom and Signal, which I normally use in here. Or I could do the other thing and go to Flatpaks. So EzeeLinux includes this repository of Flatpaks for the user's convenience only and is not responsible for the functionality of the individual Flatpaks themselves. So in other words, if you've got a problem, it's no good going to EzeeLinux and saying Flatpaks are not working because they're just offering these third-party apps to supplement or complement their distro. If you've got any issues with Flatpaks, you probably might have to go to, I don't know if Flatpak have some sort of website where they offer help for that. I'm not sure. Now let's check this out. This is interesting. So all I've done is clicked on the Flatpak tab and all the Flatpaks are up there for ready for install. So let's look for Zoom. So there's Zoom 5.9.3. I'm pretty sure that's a fairly up-to-date version. It should be being Flatpak anyway. So if I was to install Zoom, click install, following packages were selected, click show details for the list of changes, click OK to install. Seriously, EzeeLinux is actually doing what I was talking about the other day in a video, and that is no messing about with click on install, copy and paste this command to get the Flatpak support. It is done already off the bat for EzeeLinux. It doesn't get any better than that. So if I was to do a search for, let's see, DD semicolon, and we'll go to FlatHub, I think it is. I'm not sure it's FlatHub or Flatpak. FlatHub. And then you got quick setup, like I was talking about in my previous video, or the one before that. And we're on EzeeLinux, which is Debian there. And so to install, you got to apt install Flatpak, then you got to do the GNOME software plugin if you've got GNOME software, and then Flatpak remote. So you definitely need the top one and the bottom one. You only need this one if you're running with the GNOME software. In this case, we're not, because EzeeLinux has other resources to get applications besides the GNOME software. Installation complete. And that was pretty quick too, I must say. Okay, let's close that. So you pretty much need that one and that one. So we didn't even have to do that. It's already done. Just go to the tab, search, done. Did I close package installer, did I? And there we have it. Still search for Zoom. And there's Zoom there. And Zoom up and running. You got some more window managers here. You've got Fluxbox. And also MX21 comes with XFCE. That's their flagship. And they also offer the KDE desktop. Plenty to choose from under graphics as well. Graphics has quite a lot there. Got some icons, kernels. So you've got some kernel managers there. So we're running 5.10. Got a miscellaneous. Google Earth, Java, KPass, VirtualBox, Wine, KPass X. I normally use KPass XC, is it? I think I use. And you got some network options there as well. Bluetooth Blueman, Bluetooth Manager, printing, HP printing support, remote access as well, AnyDesk, TeamViewer. So a few remote desktops there as well. Screensavers if you want them. Screenshot utilities, KSnip, XFCE4 screenshot. Torrents, Deluge, QBitTorrent, RTorrent. And extra video we haven't looked at, I don't think. AVI Demux, Celluloid, KDN Live, MPlayer, OpenShot, SM Player, SM Tube. And some extra wallpapers there if you wanted them from previous MX releases. That's closed that one. You've also got MX Test Repo, but I think that would have to be an extreme circumstance, I think. But I think you could get everything between Debian backports, Flatpaks, and current installed applications. If we go to All Apps, and Gwen View is installed, GUVC View, HTOP. Let's just check out HTOP after all the stuff we've done. 1.42 gigs. And I'm recording, and I've been opening quite a fair bit of stuff, so that's pretty good. Flatpaks, we got KDN Live. Oh, if I can type properly, KDN Live. There, Cherry Tree, and it's all there. It's Flatpak. Whatever you normally install in Flatpak, it will be there. Telegram, and I like they got the package name as well. So that's if you wanted to install that manually, it'd be Flatpak install and that command there. It's as simple as that. If you want to do a manual install in terminal, got a repo manager here, fixed GPG keys, quick system info, format USB, iDevice mounter. So there's plenty of tools in here. Samba, F4 will drop down Yarquake, terminal. So I suppose Plasma doesn't really need any introduction. We all know Plasma, I suppose, unless you're a new user. Let's have a quick look at tweak. Placement of panel. Go left and apply. And there's your panel on the left. And put it back on the bottom and apply. So normally there's other ways of moving the panel on Plasma, but they've got this little tweak here that you can do for tweaking the panel. Pretty cool. It's not hard to move the panel on Plasma anyway. If we just went to edit panel and we just click on screen edge, hold it down and go to the screen edge that we want. So it's not that hard to move the panel in Plasma anyway. Let's try that again. Edit panel. We can adjust the panel height, add spacer, add widgets, more options. MX-Linux has Firefox as a default browser. Let's just have a quick look at that. Help and about Firefox, 97. So I thought I'd just have a quick look around there and show you package installation on MX-Linux and some of the MX tools, which I've covered before in other videos. So that was MX21 Linux with the Plasma desktop. There's something about MX when it comes to their desktop environments. I've used Plasma on a few occasions. This Plasma on MX just seems to run silky smooth. There's just something about it. And having used GNOME quite a lot, I've noticed that the Plasma desktop seems to do things a lot better as far as USB mounting and safe to remove the USB and things like that. Seems to be more, what can you say, more accurate than what the GNOME desktop is. But boy, it's really nice to use, actually, the MX Plasma. And what I thought was very interesting with MX, they have matured so much as a desktop operating system, and the options and the ease of use that they have available within their desktop. And it wouldn't just be on Plasma, that'd also be on the XFCE desktop. And I would have to assume that also the availabilities would be there also on the Fluxbox desktop, although that's a little bit different because you've got to set up your key bindings and things like that. The ease of use, just extraordinary. Flatpak, no need to go searching around for commands and install Flatpak and remote, add remote and whatever, and GNOME software plugin and all this stuff. EzeeLinux has taken care of all that completely. Just click on the tab, search for the application you want to install, done. Yeah, so that's very impressive that you can just click on the Flatpak tab, search for your application or your Flatpak application, and there's a list of them there already anyway, so that's even easier. It's a bit like the GNOME software actually, but it's just Flatpak alone. You can use the search box, or you can just scroll through the applications and search what you're looking for. It doesn't have the type of bling that the GNOME software has, but at the end of the day, it's functional and it's easy to use. And it's got a name of the application there. So sometimes I think in today's day and age, we get used to searching for icons rather than checking out text. I get bad for that sometimes. And when icons change, I can't find my application. So I think you can get caught in that trap. And then you've got the Debian backports, really easy. I was actually surprised to see LibreOffice as a LibreOffice backport in the package installer. I really don't know if that was there the last time I looked at it. I don't know, but gee, that's really handy as well. So if you're happy with the current version that EzeeLinux is offering, which is the 7.0, then that's fine. But if you need the newer version, then it's available at the click of a button or the tick of a box, and you're done. And it's as simple as that. And not to mention all the tools that come along with EzeeLinux, with the MX tools. You can take a snapshot of your system. You can make your USB. Haven't really got into that. Did say I was going to do that. No, actually, I might do that and see. I think I really need to do that. Maybe install all the Flatpaks I need. I think it does the running system, I'm pretty sure. So I could probably install everything I want and make my own ISO, I think. So I could do that and go the other end of the scale, because I'm doing Arch with EzeeArch, and eznix has done a wonderful job there. So I'd like to see what I can do with Debian-based EzeeLinux and see if I can have everything installed as well, set up the system the way I want, and install it onto something else. Now, I don't know whether it matters what system you're working on. It shouldn't matter. You should be able to install it on any system, and everything should be available. So that would be interesting to see as well. So what I could do is make a snapshot of EzeeLinux and try and install it on my main system. So I might try that out. I think I will actually. It's probably a worthwhile little adventure. Anyway, that was EzeeLinux. Just checking out mainly package installers and how you can set up your system with the applications you need, whether they're stable, older versions, or more up-to-date versions using Flatpak, or the Debian backports as well. Everything's there available. Very impressive. EzeeLinux team does a wonderful job. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you found it interesting and informative, and thanks for watching.